want another computer build video. Well, let's give you another computer build video. Go ahead and get that case out to where we can actually look at it. Okay, this case, if you remember, this is the HP Pavilion case that I think I bought for like $17 or something, like 6 years ago or thereabouts. It was a long time ago that I bought this case, so it's had a lot of computing platforms in it. Now the case is kind of falling apart. You can see here, this is what's left of the power switch. Only kind of works, but it does still work, sort of. It works well enough, I guess, that I'm going to just leave it. What I've done to it is I've installed a DVD-ROM drive, and the HP branded CD writer plus, because that's what it would have originally come with, as you can see there. DVD-ROM, CD writer. I've also installed the original floppy drive. I don't know if it works. And I've also installed a card reader, which has a USB port on it, which is good because I think the USB port on the front of this case, well, maybe not, but yeah. There's a screw for something, I don't know what. There's a couple of screws in this case for things. I don't know what they're for. This right here, I believe, goes to the FireWire, and there should be one for front panel connection, front panel audio, but I don't know if I actually still have that connector hooked up or not. It was a proprietary connector, so I'm not going to be able to use it for anything else anyway, so it doesn't really matter whether I have it or not. But are those fine thread screws? No, those are coarse thread screws that are there. So I'm going to use those for the hard drive, which is actually going to be the drive that was out of that compact case right there. So I'm going to go ahead and install that, along with, if I can actually find it around here, I had a motherboard lined up for this. No, it's not that one that's in that bag, which I'm sure you can see there. That's a Pentium 4 board. I don't particularly care for that. No, it's actually this one right here. This is that A320n 266 VM board, which has got some RAM on it. I don't need any expansion cards. I might install a video card if I've got a decent one laying around, sitting out here, which I don't think I do. I think a lot of the stuff I've got out here is just PCI Express and old junk. So this board, I think, has got onboard sound, it's got onboard Ethernet, so it's got onboard pretty much anything that I'd ever need. So I guess there's one thing. So I'm probably going to just put 2 slot covers in this and use all the onboard, because there's no reason to do anything else. And of course I got to have a power supply, so I'm going to install this. Sparkle Power 350 watt. I've got a bunch of these. Again, this is probably a little bit newer than what I'd like to put into this system, but it will do just fine, so that's what we're going to do. But I got to get some cables and all of that kind of stuff, like IDE cables and floppy cable and such like things. I've been busy trying to clean up my cable pile, so I don't even know if I've got any cables laying around right now. Okay, motherboard is installed. Now there's a couple of things that are likely going to happen. I'm probably going to add another stick of RAM. It's DDR. I think it's DDR. Yeah, it's DDR, so I should have something laying around that I can put into this. I'm also going to add this video card, which is nothing really special. It's just a GeForce 4 MX 440. So, quite honestly, it's probably actually not as good as the onboard video, but I do want to free up the extra RAM, assuming this card works. I don't know if it does or not. The blown caps are a little concerning, but Or the bulging caps. They're not blown yet, but they probably will be after I'm done with it. Okay, I've got all the cables plugged in. I don't have the hard drive yet, because I'm going to actually install the power supply before I deal with the hard drive situation. Just because I think it's probably going to be difficult to squeeze a power connector into that little space right there. So, that's coming. I'm going to get this thing in here and junk this thing up with a bunch of cables. Ah, the best part, right? I wasn't kidding when I said junk it up with a power supply. Cable management is not a concern. I think I also broke the back of that optical drive. I don't know. Hopefully it still works. But I got the hard drive in there. Everything should be okay. And I don't know if I've got the front panel hooked up properly. And I don't know if it's going to like my little mini RAM upgrade. I added 1 gig of RAM to it. I may add another 1 gigabyte stick, although I know that I've had problems with this thing not taking 2 gigs. I've certainly had problems with similar boards not taking 2 gigs, so we'll just leave it at that. I'm going to make sure that this power connector is not going to go into the serial port and cause a problem. But everything should be alright. I'll go ahead and I'll put the front faceplate back on, and we'll get this thing over to my test jig and see if it actually does anything interesting. Okay, I've got the disaster cabled up. Let's see if it works. Do I have the power cable on the right 2 pins? I evidently do. My mouse was upside down and blinded me, which was great. Oh, I got beeps. No video card. Okay, so it's not seeing the video card, so I'm just gonna not even worry about that. Complete unit setup. Let's see, how much RAM do we have? 1536 megabytes, so we're good on that. I think the battery is definitely dead, but other than that, everything I believe is set correctly. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So I'm going to set this up the way it should be. I'm just going to pull that video card out, because there's no reason for it to have the video card. Before I do that and wrap this up, everything there, and everything looks like it's good. Rear case fan works, power supply fan works. The voltages, I don't think I've seen plus 12 that high before, but that's fine. Hopefully that's not a problem. And everything should be okay. Just save and exit. See what it does with respect to the hard drive. I don't think it'll boot. I think the chipset's different. Yeah. I'll get a stop error. My LEDs actually work. Yeah, well, what's left of the power LED seems to work. I don't know about the hard drive LED, but I think I'm going to call out a video. I think that's pretty much it. Put together a system that's pretty close to what it would have originally had brand new. I think it was an Athlon XP system brand new, so might have been an Athlon 64. I don't think it was that new, but I remember when I originally got it, the motherboard was no good, so that's why I ended up using it so it could play host to a whole bunch of different platforms over the years. I remember the original board that this had in it, the original platform that I built system in this. I still have that board. The cooler that was on that, they still manufacture it, but I haven't been able to find one for sale ever since I bought that one. So, which is too bad, because it's a Deepcool HTPC 200. It's a very nice low profile cooler that works very well. I wish I could actually find more of them, but alas, such is not, well, not in the cards. So, here we go with that. pretty much it. I don't have anything else to say.